Myself and many other C5 owners are plagued with a common issue that is with the C5, being that the EBCM module will fail over time due to moisture being introduced into the EBCM or just bad soldering that was done originally from the factory. So, I'm going to be going over a possibly free fix for this issue and kind of going over how do you even know if your EBCM has failed or not. So, you'll know if there's an issue with your EBCM module. Just seeing that here, you have your traction control and the ABS light immediately illuminated after starting the car. You can put your cluster into diagnostic mode, in which that actually will show you any check engine light codes, or whether it be for your ABS module, for in this case, it'll cycle through a lot of the different systems that your car is equipped with. So it's pretty simple. Just on your cluster, you're just going to press and hold the number 4, which is just the option button, and then press fuel 4 times while you're pressing and holding options. And then we'll throw that in diagnostic mode and spit out any of the current traction control or Stabilitrak codes. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So as you can see, it's actually cycling through the various messages. Anything with an H in it, that actually means that it is history of a code. And as you probably saw with the TCM, it said no com. So that's actually indicating that it can't even talk to the module at all, which is a very common problem. Given that we're getting a no communication code on the diagnostics within the cluster, I'm going to go ahead and begin just by repairing my EBCM module. So in order to get access to the EBCM module, it's going to be really hard to see, but if you're looking from the viewpoint of the passenger side, it's going to be... If you see where some of these lines are going into, that's your ABS module, and in front of it, you're going to have an electronic piece, and that's just going to be your EBCM. So I'm going to go ahead and start the process of removing it. It's just 6 different Torx heads that mount it directly into that module. If you're looking to get more room and access to it, I just recommend taking out this intake tube here. It kind of gives you a little more room to work with. But it's a little tricky just trying to get your hands in there, but I promise you can get it out. Now it's time for the actual repair. So this is only a couple things you'll need to do that. First thing is this 1/4" by 20 drill bit and tap. We're going to use that to drill out a certain portion of the module. If you don't have one of these tap wrenches, you should probably grab one. It'll make it a lot easier. And then some corresponding bolts with the same thread pattern. You're just going to want something that's like 2 inches in length, but I have 3-inch ones here, which should be plenty. All right, so now if you're looking towards the side of the module that actually is what would insert into your ABS module, on the bottom right, you'll find this small hole that's just filled with silicone. We're going to be using the drill bit to just drill this out very lightly, just basically only just getting the silicone out. And then using the tap to create some threads within here that we're going to use with one of the long bolts. So that way you can separate the casing between these two. The reason why you kind of have to do this is only just because there's like almost a 1/2 inch thick of silicone that would bond these two pieces here. You can try with a razor to pry, but this is probably going to be a lot easier. This is the amount of silicone I was talking about earlier. As you can see here, it's definitely about a half an inch thick glob of silicone all the way around the module. So at least on my board, mine's pretty dirty. You can see all kind of like the smudging on the board. So we're just going to clean this with isopropyl alcohol and then start to reflow a lot of these solder points in here. Just going to be using some alcohol to clean the motherboard on this. As you can see, there's a lot of accumulation of just moisture that occurred on this board at some point. So we're just going to be paying attention to this relay here on the bottom and the pins that correspond with it. Those pins are going to be this one, this one, this one, this one. So I'm just going to be reflowing all of these in this area just to ensure if there was any solders that were broken, that at least you can't see from the top side, it's been reflowed and reconnected. So this is my attempt at reflowing those connections onto the relay in the bottom. I'm not the best at soldering, so hopefully this at least gets the job done, but we'll see. We're going to go ahead and put this on the car and test and see if we still get all those Stabilitrak lights. All right, so the repair to the unit's done. As you can see, I went ahead and had siliconed the interior again, just so no moisture can get back in here, and also filled this crevice with some silicone. So now we're ready to just go ahead and install this back on the car and see if we get any lights. All right, so I went and took the Corvette out for a quick test drive after installing the new unit, and as you can see, I actually have no traction control lights on at all. My ABS unit would keep wanting to pull the car left or right, but I don't really have that symptom anymore. So it looks like that fixed my problem. This is the first time ever since I bought the Corvette that it hasn't had an actual single warning light on the dash. So you have no idea how good this feels to finally see this car with a completely clean dashboard. And so after confirming that the codes are cleared just by driving the vehicle, the repair is done. So I can actually go ahead and enjoy having Stabilitrak back on the car. I'd also like to mention as well, if you're still getting codes even after you've repaired that module, there are some third-party options that you can also send in your EBCM module out to someone who can repair it and has actual dedicated test benches for those modules. A common one I've always seen is ABS Fixer. There's also some services on eBay that you can use as well that they can do those repairs. Even if you have those repaired by those services and you're still getting that error, you may be looking at a possible issue with Stabilitrak related to your steering wheel. There's an actual sensor that's on the steering wheel that is detecting the current point in which your steering wheel is positioned. And so if that is slightly off to what the vehicle is actually experiencing in relation to where your wheels are pointed, it'll actually cause Stabilitrak to overcompensate for which way your wheels are positioned. And so then it'll start wanting to pull the car left or right. So that's another thing you may have to look at. I'll throw a quick screenshot up of what that code will generally look like. I've had that in my history for this car, so thankfully I was able to provide that for you. But other than that, that's kind of it for this repair. Pretty much the Corvette's in a good position to just kind of make it a good daily and just kind of enjoy it. That's it for this video. If I helped you with your repair, please give video a like. If you're looking to get any more content about my C5 or any of the other cars in the shop that maybe will have a surprise appearance, who knows? But again, thank you so much for all the support. Been almost approaching 500 subscribers, and thank you again.